Hello YouTubers, I thought I'd give everybody a little bit of a review over the Forster Coax Primer, and if you're thinking about purchasing this, I would highly recommend it. Again, it's going to depend on your uses, but I have the Forster Coax single stage press here set to go, and basically it's not a bad system for priming, but the fact is it's just really slow, and you have to handle each primer. So if I have one primer to do, well, maybe it's not bad. It has okay feel, but it's just got a fairly large arm that doesn't allow you to feel when that primer actually hits the bottom. So I've done a few things here as far as the Forster Coax primer itself. I actually mounted mine on a wood block. I drilled out a couple holes in the end so that I can actually stick the primer holders and the actual priming system that does the larger primers, large pistol and large rifle, and I can kind of store them out of the way. I like mounting it on a block because then I can move it around. That will actually give you a lot of an advantage later when you're loading up these primer holders. You can actually tip it up and go ahead and load it, and I'll show you how that works in a little bit. If you've got it mounted on a bench, there's just no way you can do that, unfortunately. So what I do is basically get some primers out, and really at this point it's just a matter of doing a few, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. But basically I've got a little primer flip tray, and you can kind of pour these out. Normally I'd make it a little prettier. I wouldn't handle any of the primers, but I'm just reloading some cowboy action stuff. I've actually got a little hole cut here in the bottom of this. I just did it with a scalpel blade so that I can get them all kind of flipped over, and you can do up to about 50 or so and get them lined up down here on the bottom, and literally you just pour them right down into the primer holder. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that to you. Now I'm gonna have to set the camera down. I apologize, I'm not a camera guy, but at the same time I'll try and give you guys a pretty good idea what's going on here. Alright, so I set it down, I go ahead and pull this out. I can pour the primers in. Literally you can pour 50 primers in, no problem, especially the small. Now the large one doesn't actually hold 50, but a quick check, you can see that all those primers are seated the right way. It takes literally a couple seconds and you've got the entire thing all the primers in there. Now, I tip this up, add my primer holder, and go ahead and put it back down. Now that's something you can't do if you've got it mounted to the bench, but if you've got it on a wood block that's nice and stable, hey, it works great. So I'll go ahead and prime just a few cases for you, just to let you know how quickly it goes. This primer's really, primer seeder's got a very good feel to it, and when I hit the bottom, it's got a very positive stop. I know when that primer's hit the bottom, and I never have a problem with tall primers out of it. It goes very quickly, and in a lot of cases I can even grab two cases and just bang both at the same time. You can go through a lot of empty brass and put primers in them very quickly. Now, it's never going to beat a Dillon press or something that's fully automatic, but if you work a single stage press and just have a few primers, then it's really a fairly efficient unit. It allows you to do all your priming, and I don't really hardly ever touch a primer, and that's really important on some of the long range shooting and competition that I do, but maybe not so important in cowboy action shooting where you're doing volume more than anything. I highly recommend this press. It works very well, and at the same time, you know, I wouldn't hold back on it. It's got very good feel. It just depends on your needs, but it's pretty well bulletproof and indestructible. But I can do a lot of cases. A lot of people, the reviews that I've seen actually say that it's just you know, kind of finicky, and I believe they're right. You do have to take a little bit of time here to set these little Allen screws and get everything right. There's two sides to the jaws, just like there are on the single stage press, and this is small and this is large. I seated about 500 set of you know, mixed brass 38s, and that's what these are. They're just literally every head stamp you can imagine. None of them are the same, and I fly through them and never have any problems. Now, if I don't have these things set quite right, yeah, you're going to have a little bit of an issue, but in all honesty, once you get it set right, very efficient, and overall I would definitely not hold back on purchasing this. So again, really good feel when that thing comes down. Maybe not as good as a single primer seeder like you'll see at Sinclair, but again, you're handling every primer, so depends on your needs. Anyway, if you got any questions, fire back at me. I'll do my best to answer them, and let you know all those are all the 38s we've done. Those are the 13 that we just did, and this is part of my progressive reloading press right here. So that's the best help you can have, and a reloader in the making. Talk to you soon. Thank you.